All right. Hey, everyone. On to week 5. So, we had a great time meeting and going through individual gift conversations. And I appreciate all your efforts making the time. And I want to remind you not to be daunted by this process. Everyone starts from ground zero in learning how to ask for money. And it can be fun when you actually start meeting with people and making connections and actually maybe getting some money in for your organization. So, stick with it. And second, on to your final projects. So I described our final projects in detail in the meetings that we had this week. But if you do have any questions that come up, please ask them. If you have a question, chances are someone has the same or similar question, and just send me an email. And if it's something I think others would be interested in knowing about, I will let people know kind of what the answer to your question is. So definitely speak up. Okay, great. So now we are moving into another big topic, institutional fundraising. Institutional fundraising, corporations and foundations is another very big source of funding for nonprofit organizations. Obviously, more money comes from individuals than any other source, but this is sort of right behind that. Okay. So I started out in grant writing and I love it because I love the written word. I like making meaning out of writing. And so it's a lot of fun for me. I know in this degree program, there's a separate course on grant writing. So we're not going to go through it in every single detail. In fact, much of the writing that you have done this far can prepare you very well for writing a grant because we've written about the power of narrative. Okay. We've talked about the power of narrative and you've had a chance to work that out. That'll prepare you to write a strong grant proposal. The one thing we have not talked about a lot is how to handle the part of a grant request that is going to ask you to quantify what you're going to do, okay, and what you hope to achieve. So this week's essay is going to be focused on creating SMART goals for a fictitious project that I made up that I think is kind of fun. And the word SMART, as you may know, is an acronym, and stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time scaled or time delimited. Okay. So let's kind of really break this down at a very basic level. You probably all used SMART goals before and you just didn't know it. Let's say you have a test coming up, and so you say to yourself, I'm going to read and annotate the first 3 chapters of this book I have to read by next Tuesday. Okay. That's a SMART goal. It's specific because you're saying what you're going to be doing. It's measurable because you have sort of 3 chapters to get through, and it's hopefully it's achievable. Hopefully you've been realistic about it. Okay. And then I'm going to skip to time limited because you say next Tuesday you're going to get it done. Okay. And then the relevance piece. How does the content of what you're going to do actually relate to your goal of being prepared for this test? Well, what you're going to be saying you're doing is you're going to read and annotate something. Okay. So let's talk about relevance here. What if turns out that you have an essay test, not just a multiple choice test where you have to know facts, so reading and annotating is helpful? What if you have to write something in response? Well, then maybe the relevance of reading and annotating to the process of writing that you're going to have to do is not the best approach. Maybe you really need to actually practice the writing part of this and come up with a few sample thesis statements or sample paragraphs that you can maybe use as needed once you get to the test. So the relevance piece is some people might say the place where your insight and creativity comes in when you're writing SMART goals. So that's all just to say that writing a SMART goal is not really some like boring mechanical process where you just throw some numbers out and uh, a time limitation out on it and then you're done. You really have to think through like, you know, are these goals really going to get you where you want to go with this project? Are they the best goals? Is this the best process to go through in order to get there? And that's the fun part and the creative part about creating goals when you're writing grants, because the goals really relate to the projects that you're going to be doing. And it can be really fun and rewarding to create these goals toward those projects that can maybe change people's lives. So think of it that way, and it seems to take on a more broad and relevant role in what we're all doing when we work for our organizations. Okay, so that's all I have. Have a great week. We've got some fun discussion posts up for you guys as well. I am working through all of your work and will be grading anything that I haven't graded over the week. So you'll be hearing from me that way. If you have any questions, please let me know and have a great week, everyone.